Okay, everybody, what's going on? We're back with a video, and we're gonna be talking about the new set, as you know by the title. So we're just gonna do a complete breakdown of it, and I'm just gonna go through every card. I've been waiting on them to drop the. I was hoping to do this, make this video before. This is actually post pack release. The pack's already out now, but I was trying to make this before the pack release. But I couldn't remember which day. I think it was gonna release on the 30th, but it's so confusing because the time it updates, it's like the next day at like at 1 o'clock, pretty much my time. Like it's like 1 a.m. the next day, so it's always kind of confusing to me when this stuff happens because like it's just at weird times. So um, but I usually go start at the top, but I've noticed that seems to always like some cards seem bad until I see their trainer cards that may kind of help them out. So I'm gonna start with the items and the trainers. Then we're gonna look at the Pokemon. I think that's the best way to do this, because I always seem to see a card that I'm like, okay, that's not that great. Then I see the trainer later, and I say, oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. Okay, so okay, let's start with the items. That's like only looks like 4 items. Looks like this heals 10 damage and removes a random special. Removes a random special condition from your active Pokemon. Okay, this is a pretty much the first, I guess, card that removes. That's not a Lumberry that removes a special condition. This I would assume, looking a little bit further down, that this is a direct counter to the Poison Barb because yeah, it's like almost a direct counter because if you get poisoned, you only lose 10 after you attack. Well, eh, if it's just like a direct heal from a poison. I don't know if they're expecting poison to be really lethal this game, but basically, if you get poisoned, you get healed up, and then this looks like just a perfect counter for getting poisoned. So if they poison you in their turn, you take the 10 damage, you heal from that 10 damage, and you recover from poison. It's almost what this card seems like. Um, but I'll try to pronounce the name. Big Malasada. Malasada, I think is how you say that. So okay. Fishing net. Okay. There is a trainer card from the previous set that allows you to grab a random basic out of your bench. So this one's an item though. So I'm curious on this one. The only time I've ever felt like this has ever been useful or would ever be useful is fossils. Like if you could pull a fossil from the discard, that's like the only time because you can discard fossils to make room. Like it would just open up a lot more with fossils. If you could just pull the fossil back out at some point. That's the only card I think. But everything else, I really don't know any card that you would want to just pull that badly. I guess the only card I can really think of that this fishing net really benefits, like just off the top of my head, is a trove. It's an 18 trainer deck Articuno. That's like the only card I think benefits from the fishing net. Oh, and the card that everyone's been talking about the most, this rare candy card. So yeah, I think that fishing net maybe it's gonna definitely be throwing in some 18 trainer Articuno decks because then that way it lets you get your other Articuno back out. And build it back up, and then you have something else. So that's the only thing I can see. That's definitely going to be seen in 18 trainer Articuno. Rare Candy, obviously the card of the century. It seems like because this card opens up the game quite a bit to a lot of decks that were previously, just not the best. The meta was pretty much looking to be basics. Any card that was a basic, like big bad basic, Giratina, Arceus, Dialga, Darkrai. These cards were running. Obviously, it feels like every new card somehow gets. It's just so good. A lot of times they drop cards and it's like, okay, well, okay, the meta doesn't really shift because we don't really care. But it seems like every new card that they was dropping, since it was like a big bulky EX basic mon, it had a big impact on the meta. So first it was like Dialga, then or it was Darkrai, then it was like Dialga, Arceus, then it was like once Giratina became a thing, then it was Giratina, Darkrai. So it was like the Sinnoh legendaries were put in overtime the last few months. So definitely it should. I think that's because they seen that the basics were just always seeming to be meta or the strongest. I think that is why they decided to just go ahead and throw the word Kenny in. I don't know if this was part of their plan the whole time, or if they're just like, okay, the basic ones are always like just seem to be on top and they're way too consistent. So let's help out the stage twos a little bit more. This is the only reason I can imagine they threw the rare candy in. But either way, I'm not complaining. It definitely is going to open up the game. Definitely a card that's in the meta. Please ignore that. Okay, sorry about that. So Rotom decks. Yeah, Rare like I said, gonna be a big thing. So we'll talk about some cards. I've made plenty of videos, or 2 videos already on potential stage twos that are gonna blow up, and also just some potential decks to look out for. So Rotom decks, look at the top card of your deck, and then you may shuffle your deck. So I'm not sure the importance of this one. I can, this is actually, and funny enough, it's a dex card. This in Professor Research can actually be pretty good, and this could actually help quite a bit. Making certain items consistent, like, but as far as I don't know. Certain decks I can see like an 18 trainer deck maybe, but other than that, I just don't really see the big use out of this. But again, someone always can see something that I don't, because I always, every time I see a lot of cards, I'm like, this isn't gonna get much play. Like, or some I think, oh, this is gonna be meta, and it just doesn't. I remember Yon Mega, if y'all remember Yon Mega, like I thought that was gonna be in like almost every deck, but it definitely, I don't think I ever seen a Yon Mega deck. So, again, Poison Barb. This is a new interesting one. This is pretty much like another item or tool, I mean, that really kind of helps like the decks like Pachirisu or Skarmory. And yeah, this tool is gonna be actually pretty good in like a Skarmory deck or Pachirisu deck. It just adds a lot of pressure, and obviously helps them out. So Skarmory's definitely gonna jump, I think, with the addition of something like this. Also, plus Rocky Helmet's still a thing. Yeah, yeah, definitely gonna be a tough card to go against. Leaf Cape also. This is an item that pretty much with the new addition of the rare candy, I think Celebi is gonna be back on top. Celebi at 160 is gonna be pretty tough to deal with. So yeah, I think Celebi may be back on top with this new Leaf Cape. He's the first one I could think of, but also Venusaur. Venusaur decks may Venusaur may be pretty threatening now, because Venusaur already has the highest HP in the game. I believe, I could be wrong. I think he's at 180 or 190, and yeah, he'd be the first like Pokemon over 200, I think. So Leaf Cape is definitely gonna see a lot of it's gonna see some play, and I think Leaf is definitely looking strong right now. I could be. I feel like and again, I don't even know what EXs they've added to this set. It could be definitely something also in this set too that's just that this is meant for. But yeah, Leaf Cape definitely I can see its use with Celebi and Venusaur just off rip. I'm trying to think of another strong Leaf deck that's been out for a while. Maybe even Carnivine. Arceus maybe even get a little bit boost there, but not sure. Was there any? Masquerada. There it is. I was like, I know there's gotta be another leaf I'm missing. Masquerada. Any card that's just any leaf that's just meta, you can just throw this in there, and yeah, you're just a lot stronger, for sure. Because you could just replace this with any giant cape. Anytime any of those decks that ran giant cape, just replace it now with this leaf cape, and yeah, it's just a much stronger deck. Okay, now let's look at these trainers. Acerola. If I'm saying that right, choose one of your Polosin or Mimikyu that has damage on it, and move 40 of his damage to your opponent's. Okay. Okay, I gotta see what Polosin and Masquerada, like, I mean, did I say that right? Mimikyu, I'm sorry. I gotta see what they're looking like when I see their cards. Okay, put one of your I think this basic Pokemon that has damage on it into your hand. Oh yeah, I think they had a card like this in the actual TCG. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know why. This is not a new like card. This is definitely in the original TCG as well. I'm just trying to think off rip. Oh gosh, I guess Arceus definitely comes to mind first. Um, Definitely Arceus comes to mind first. Yeah, 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 this card of Arceus Carnivine may be quite a bit of a big threat, but I'm trying to think of a basic that has like a lower attack. Snorlax decks may with Barry Snorlax decks may definitely have a lot of potential now. Mm, yeah, cause I wouldn't ever do it something like this with like my Star Raptor or something. I gotta like go through the basics and see. I'm sure there's a lot of the first ones I can think of. It's kind of like Snorlax and Arceus are the ones I think. But definitely Arceus gets the most benefit from this. I think, especially in like a deck that's like running maybe the basic Arceus, like the non EX one, as like a kind of like a shield, but also enabler to the other cards that have abilities based on Arceus. So I can see it. I don't know. I definitely can see. I feel like there's something I'm missing, but I can see it definitely will have some viability, especially bringing back some of those Arceus sticks. Um, Alolan Marowak or what's this one? Tortonator. Take two flame energies from your energy zone and attach it to that Pokemon. Your turn ends. Definitely a great card for turn one for sure. I gotta look at Alolan Marowak and Tortonator so before I can really assess how good that is. Guzma, discard all Pokemon. Ooh, attached to each. Oh gosh. Yep, that's gonna be yeah. Well, so much for Pachirisu and like Skarmory just taking off. This thing is definitely gonna shut quite a few of those decks down. They put a trainer card just to shut those decks down. Yeah, because those were definitely trying to run the meta. I'll tell you that. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Good. I'm glad they added that. Guzma looks really nice. Lana, you can use this card only if you're. Oh, Aqua. I love that. I forget how you say the name though. Aqua. I'm sorry, I'm saying that totally wrong. Arrow Quadonid. That's that spider bug. That's that water bug Pokemon. I used to have one back in Gen like 6 or 7. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm assuming that card, the Pokemon may have some sort of like trap effect, and if it does, then yeah, this card's gonna be lethal. So I'm interested in seeing that. With yeah, okay, I'm actually really excited. During this turn, attacks used by a Alolan Golem, um, Vilcavolt, and oh my god, I'm so bad with some of the older Pokemon names. Do 30 plus damage. I'm just gonna not even try with some of these names right now. Do 30 plus damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So pretty much a Blaine for some of these electric Pokemon. Um, okay, just a Blaine. I'm assuming. So for Mallow, heal all damage from one of your. Serena. Discard all. Okay, I don't know how good that is. I gotta look at the Pokemon first. But that's why we went for the trainers first. So when we get to those Pokemon, we're like, okay, yeah, this is definitely gonna be great. Oh, heal 60 damage from one of your stage 2 Pokemon. Yeah, golly. 60's crazy. In this meta, 60 is crazy. They definitely, yeah, it feels like they intentionally do not want. It seems like they definitely don't want, yeah, the basics to keep ruling the meta. But 60, is there any, like, oh my god. These are some like cards these are some big meta shakers. Like this set is a big meta shaker. Like we're definitely gonna be, we're gonna have plenty to eat for like at least this month. I don't know. I think they drop a new set every 90 days or something. Yeah, this says gonna be crazy. Okay, let's start looking at these Pokemon. That says this says gonna be absolutely insane. I'm just gonna skip some of it, just not to make this video like 40 minutes long. I'm just gonna look at some. If I see something that scans out, I'm just gonna talk about it. I don't see anything specific for Alolan Executor, but let me see if he looks worth. Yep, a coin flip. Not worth it. I would definitely just take. See it. Yeah, just not even worth it. I just rather go with a regular Executor, EX Executor. You can swing for literally 160 in 2 turns. Before in 2 turns before this card can even attack. So definitely no. A stage 1 that swings for 40 for 1. That's always pretty nice, but there's so many. I mean, but you can obviously just like, what's his name? Farfetch. You can just use Farfetch or something. So 40 for 1 though isn't bad. With a specific type though. Especially if there's like if the meta's still Darkrai or something. I will say that though. I see Carablast, and I'm wondering. I'm assuming its evolutions are different. It must be Steel type, is what I'm imagining. Carablast evolution must be Steel type. Trevent 80 for. Yeah, that's not gonna. That's not 80 for 3 energies. Yeah, that's just bad. Decidueye, I was curious on this one. So with the again too. Oh, and yeah, and Dartrix has 30 for 1. That's also really good too. But Decidueye swinging for 80 for 2, and also this attack does 101 of your opponent's Pokemon that has damage on it. Yeah, that's quite the sniper. Pierce the pain. You know, I like can't see it now. Oh, you know what? Don't forget Spiritomb. Spiritomb is a it hits every Pokemon on the field for 10 on your opponent's side for 10, and it doesn't require it requires a colorless. So yeah, I can see Spiritomb and is doing some crazy work for sure. Yeah, this is gonna be nice. 100. I'm just thinking, is there any grass types that swings like on the bench like that? I don't know. We'll have to see though. I would definitely have to look into this. But the situation I can see now, it definitely is gonna be solid. I can't think of a mon that's really who swings for like 30 on. Like I'm trying to think of a decent value. I kind of think there's no grass, but I just know Spiritomb's the first I can see you could pair this up with. But this is where I look at nice 80, like especially with the rare candy. Any mon that's gonna be able to attack any stage 2 that can attack with 2 energy or less. I made a whole video on this. It's gonna look nice with the new rare candy. So definitely keep an eye on that. So Gruben, I think, also is gonna have its evolution is gonna be electric. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent. Oh, well, here you go. Here you go. Here's a good partner for Decidueye. Lurantis. So Lurantis looks like it's the perfect partner for Decidueye. Yep. Especially if you go first. Yep, looks each of your opponent. Wow, 92. And then don't forget, give it that cape. Oh my god. Yeah, that's an instant deck. And Decidueye is already 170. Give it the cape. Decidueye is at freaking 200. And it's sniping the bench. What the world? Craziness. Okay. Oh, here's the Seanock. I think is how you say it. It could be Sheenock or Sheenock. Not sure which one. But this one had a trainer next to it. I think it was I think I have to go look at the trainer in a second. But let's read the attack. Flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. I think isn't this one the card? I think this is the one that lets you bring in the act like a Pokemon from your opponent's bench in. But let me go check real quick. Okay, no, that was the one that lets you heal all damage. So you can heal all damage on it. Yeah, and but you lose your energy. I mean, it doesn't have enough HP for it to be worth all that. And I will say, it works within like it's very gimmicky, and it will work in I guess like a superior deck where you lose all your energy. You can attack again with just one energy with superior. That's the only way that would work. So, but it looks like Serena was the other card that could benefit from that. And Serena actually, you can definitely tell benefits quite a bit because Serena only needs one energy to attack. You lose all your energy when you heal Serena. So this is definitely going to be like a mini EX. 30 damage for each hit. So a potentially 150 attack for one energy. So almost on the level of Rampardos. I think same. No, Rampardos has a little bit more HP. But don't forget, you can run a Leaf Cape with this as well. And then heal all damage up. It's crazy. Leaf Cape, heal all damage. Don't forget too, you can Erica this thing. Yeah, like yeah, this any deck that's not swinging like this. This will be instant meta for any deck that's not swinging for 160. This thing could just torture you all day. Could just literally torture you all day. This is the first time I think. I'm glad it's a coin flip because, but yeah, this thing could still just. Oh my god, yeah. It's gonna be a deck with the rare candy too. Serena's gonna be a deck for sure. Wow. Okay, Gloss Pod. First impression. If this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active spot, this attack does 60 more damage. So it's coming in swinging for 120. I mean, Druddigon would be okay, but again, only 120, and then like, then you have to leaf again. I don't know. I don't see. I just don't really see Glossopod just being anything special, but it's not like terrible. I'll say that. Oh, during your first turn, this Pokemon has Wimpod has a decent ability though. It does have a decent ability. You don't have to worry about an X speed ever. So I will say that's actually decent. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind immediately that would just make this a really great deck. I mean Arceus, two Leafs, Arceus, and that that new trainer that lets you pull out the basic. That's the only time I can kind of see this. But other than that, it seems like too much setup for not enough. Like if it was swinging for like 200, yeah, but yep, definitely not enough. But say maybe Leafeon could, maybe this and Leafeon wouldn't be too bad. But I don't know. Okay, it's Delmise. Delmise, during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. Delmise was also that card. Let's go look. I think along with that Arachnid Pokemon, right? Wasn't this the other card that benefited? No. I'm thinking of a different. Okay, I don't know. Lana's Mon. I think I'm confused on which one Lana's Mon is. But I don't think Delmise benefits from anybody actually. Now look at it. Okay, definitely doesn't. Definitely doesn't. 80 no retreat for one. Again, the Leaf Cape kind of enables this. 140 isn't like, with the Leaf Cape, 170 is pretty much untouchable except by like Charizard or something. I think maybe Arcanine may make a comeback now. Think about speaking of Arcanine, I see him at the bottom there. Tababulu, for the coins this way, does 20 damage. Whoa. I've never seen if tails. I've never seen a time you don't want to get tails. So if you do get tails, it does damage to itself. That's interesting. Well, I guess typically, yeah. I guess typically, you always kind of want to get heads. I think, right? Like yeah, like with Leafy, with like a Celebi and like Misty. Yeah, I guess typically you want heads. That's right, cause heads is good, tails is bad. And but usually if you're on the opposite end of that coin flip, tails is usually great. That's why I'm thinking like, wait, tails is usually good. No, yeah, tails is usually good for me, but not for them. Okay, Arcanine. Okay, here's a lowland Marowak. Arcanine looks like just terrible. If it was 2 for 80, yeah, that would be pretty much like a better like a substitute for Ninetales. If it was like yeah, 2 for 80 with 130, Arcanine would be a decent in a few fire decks. But lowland Marowak, so flip. Okay, so remember the trainer card lets you do 30 more damage with this one. Flip 2 coins. This attack does 70 damage for each head. If at least one of them is heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now burnt. So you can do a max of 140, but even without one, you're gonna burn your opponent automatically. So if you get double heads, why they always do Marowak like this? And this one isn't no better because you need freaking 3 energy. But if you do get it, you can hit for 140 plus they're automatically burnt. With the trainer, you're also swinging for 170. That's just way too much has to go right for that to be viable. Also, it's only 110. Like, it's not worth that effort. Talonflame. Yeah, 2 for 90 is good with the new rare candy. Talonflame may be in a few decks. It just, I don't know if how consistent they'll be. But swinging or like 90 on your like second turn, like this is the same. Like this is like a fire Starmie with the rare candy now. But again, it requires 1 extra card. So then like Starmie did or Staryu. No, it was Starmie. Starmie was the evolution. Okay, let me just go straight to Incineroar. Did he have any? I don't think he had any trainer cards, did he? Oh, did they finally give Salazzle a good card? I got distracted. Let me get Salazzle real quick. I've been waiting on a decent Salazzle, man. I like Salazzle as a Pokemon. I just never see. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now Poison and Burn. Okay, so this is decent compared to the previous ones. Still just not that great. Especially since Saladit only does 20. If it did like 30 or 40, that would be great for one. Plus coming in, getting burnt and poisoned. Poison and burnt is crap. Wait, do you take damage from both of them though? That actually is kind of crazy now think about it. Okay, let me look at Incineroar again. I'm sorry, I gotta Fire Fang 30. Ultimate number. Okay, that's okay. Instantly good. I don't know. Was there any like, how much benefit is burn on here? I don't. It's so rare I get burnt that I actually don't even recall like the effects of burn. I think you take 10 damage, right? Also, it's like the same as poison if I'm correct, but I could be wrong. As far as I know, it's like the same as poison. But someone correct me in the comments, guys. I cannot remember what the effect of burn is. It's so rare to get burnt. Okay, if this Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 60 more damage. So swinging for 140 plus again 180. And yeah, you're never gonna one-shot this thing. And yeah, getting hit for 30, like even on a setup is scary, huh? I'm trying to think too though. Yeah, getting hit. Who? Like any, like you would have to pretty much, if he comes in, you come into, and if Incineroar comes in, he swings for a Fire Fang, and then your opponent has to either sub out there, but either way, if they sub out, and like they're still gonna have to take a 140 to the face, because nothing's like one shot in Incineroar except Charizard. I guess Blastoise now, a fully powered up Blastoise. Yeah, and then I mean, and again, we're not even talking about a giant. Throw a giant cape on, and Incineroar is 200. So very nice card. And don't forget that trainer that heals 60 on stage 2. So Incineroar I think is gonna be an instant deck because I can see now he puts a lot of pressure. He's a lot of pressure there. And then this card also at the bottom, Tortonator also does. He does 30 more with that trainer. Discard fire insurance. Looks like a worse. Honestly, looks like a worse Ninetales, except for I guess you have more HP. Oh, I guess it is a basic too, technically. So I guess in a sense it's better and worse because you don't need the evolution, but you do need the extra energy. So this would have just been a better, I guess, a better Ninetales had they not made it, had they made it 2 energy. But okay, I see. Still just, not bad. I guess you know what though. He's not bad on an Infernape deck. Like in any deck like this, I wouldn't say even Infernape. He's not bad in any deck that's using Moltres, I think. Just kind of slot him in there on for those extra turns. And he can come in, and it's like 90's pretty okay. I think he slots in nicely too. It just like maybe even like just a substitute for Ninetales and Blaine. I don't know. I gotta see. Wait, let's see. Who else get benefits from that 30? Let's go look at that again. Who else benefit? Whoever gets that 30 bonus. Oh, Alolan Marowak, right? Them the only two. Oh, wait, I had that totally. Wait, what? I'm sorry, I had that totally mixed up. It's the electric types that gets the 30. They get 2 extra energy. Okay, that's right. Okay, wait, now I gotta reevaluate those two. I need to double check on these trainers every time. I made a big mistake there. Okay, Alolan Marek. Okay, now he's actually pretty intimidating. Knowing you can, coming off your second turn, you can evolve this guy, swing for a potential 170. I'm sorry, 140, but at worst, if you just get, well, at worst you do nothing, but at the medium, you can get a 70 with a burn. So yeah, that's actually not too bad. Tornado, now that I think about it too, jeez. So 90. Okay, yeah, he's actually a lot stronger than I thought. Okay, 90 off your, wait, 90 on your first turn, right? If you go second, you're doing 90. What the? This is a Hail Mary card. 90? That's pretty, what? Oh, no. Wait a minute. 90 off your, if you go first? That's crazy. We've never seen nothing. That's instant aggression. What do you even do? That's a crazy amount of pressure. Wow, that's a crazy amount of pressure. He's like never leaving the active spot though, but like, wow. The only issue, you can't build nothing else up, but at the same, I guess, yeah. If you have two of those trainers in your hand, you can start building something else up, I guess. Well, yeah, you could. Crazy. Tortonator actually is kind of crazy now. Random range perfect. Alright, I think I've seen enough. Alolan Sandslash, I didn't see nothing crazy there. Spike armor, damage your opponent. If this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, do 20. Should take, Yeah, that's just not that good. Because you're only doing 60 and they have to attack you. But it's like off one energy. I mean, not a bad wall, I'll say. I guess not a bad wall, but only being 100 HP is what hurts it. S- Uh, a worse. It like this is a worser. Lola Ninetales is worse than Articuno, so I don't even know. It's doing like 20 less damage to the active. Oh, just Articuno only does 10 actually. Articuno actually only does 10, I think, to the bench. Well, I guess this is not bad pressure then, cause if you go second, you attack. Yeah, this isn't too bad actually. I can see like if your opponent can't respond early enough, yeah, this can actually be pretty bad, honestly. I'm just going through here, nothing too crazy. Um, except for interest and they put two Populio on the they put two. That's kind of rare to see two of the same, two different versions. I've never seen that before. Sing is kind of crazy though. That's kind of crazy. Let's see what's this. Let's see. You can put you can put your opponent to sleep, then rare candy into hitting them for surf. May have three from each of your and it's a pretty solid heal ability. 30 from each of your water. Six, yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of the better starters we've seen, like basic starters for sure. A nine. This is alright. The best, um, probably the best non EX starter I've seen. I think. Okay, let's give these EXs real quick. So during your next turn, this Pokemon, his attack does 40 plus damage. Stage one, so he's swinging for 40 early, and then he's swinging for 80. And I guess he's consistently gonna swing for 80 after that. Is that good or bad? I guess if you go first, you evolve. Um, if you go first and then you evolve, I can hear hitting for 40. Like it's a pretty instant pressure because within 2 turns you're swinging for 120, and then you like a lot of nothing's gonna really be able to answer. Yeah, it's gonna be meta, I think, because nothing's gonna be able to answer this within like 2 turns. So he's already doing I mean 120 plus like he's doing 200 within 3 turns. So yeah, I think that's actually pretty threatening, especially if you go like yeah. I don't think it's not gonna be a lot to respond to this. Definitely an interesting one. Okay, so wishy washy. Call for fun. Put a random wishy washy or wishy washy X from your deck into your bench onto your. That's interesting. That's interesting. So okay, the second one, this attack does 40 more damage for each of your bench wishy washy, and so if your bench is full, oh he's only 30 though. Godly, Hitmonlee's gonna Hitmonchan. I mean, he's gonna have a field. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan gonna have a field day against this. That's potentially not gonna be the greatest. Okay, yeah. Oh, so I did have it right. Arachnid, I think, was the one I was looking at earlier. And then let's also double check ourselves on the trainer here before I even speak on anything else. So yeah, you can use this card if your Arachnid is in play. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. Okay, let's double check. Okay, Dormer, if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, this does 60 more damage. So that's 120. This definitely punishes basic EXs, but I can't really see. I can't really understand like what else you what you would pair this with is what I don't really understand. I guess you could with this I guess Crowbo Minable I guess maybe those two would be paired okay. Cause Arachnid could just kind of sit out, you know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what if only it was like a non like energy like no like the energy was non water, but I really don't know what you would pair it with. Okay, Alolan Raichu. I think this was when it was already kind of released earlier. I think just looking at everyone else, no one else looks too relevant. Let me look at this ability. Inwards out. If the Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack, your opponent's Pokemon do 50 damage. Your from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon do okay, yeah, 50 damage to the attacking Pokemon. So okay, not a I mean a decent okay wall, I guess you could say. Okay, I mean that's not too bad, honestly. Cause you would have to, you know, actually what's even worse is like even this mon actually even could even like keep a bunch of games like tie. Like say you have a really late like your EX goes out or whatever, and you sub this thing in and they have to attack it to finish the game, but they also lose their mon in the process, then you might can tie a few games with that ability. It is kind of interesting. So Alolan Raichu Psychic. Oh, and again, no energy, no specific energy. Also, this is important too for Pikachu too, because Pikachu has no specific energy as well. So you could even throw this Pikachu and per se. No, I think the other EX Pikachu needs I think it requires two electric energy to attack. So if it's just one and like a non-colorless, then you could do like a Magnezone or Magneton plus like Dawn combo. But yeah, and then like something else in the deck too. But Alolan Raichu, this does 30 damage from each energy. Okay, this is kind of a big heavy counter to all of those bulky like Giratina decks, because this one can one-shot a fully powered Giratina. So any deck can run this on their bench if they're scared of like Giratina or whatever. Yeah, I can see this, and actually this Crowbo Minable actually doing. They might actually. That might actually be a deck right there. Cause he's just swinging. By the time they actually have anything useful, yeah, you're right. You could just come in and swing for well, Lord knows what. But any like looks like a Charizard would go down. Wait, 30. Let's do some math here. 180. Okay, yeah, 180 on a fully powered Charizard. So you knock a fully powered Charizard out of that thing, right? Looks like you're anything that has two energies is gonna be 120. Anything with three energy, 150. So like it's doing great numbers. Like Arceus gets one shotted, Darkrai gets one shotted, Giratina gets one shotted. It looks like a fully powered Mewtwo and Charizard, and not even a fully powered Mewtwo. Halfway powered Mewtwo, three energy Mewtwo gets one shotted. Yeah, Pikachu Alolan Pikachu may be a hard counter for a lot of things. It can slot in any deck too. This is the type of mon that we was kind of waiting on to hard counter these big decks like Giratina. Super hard counter the meta. I didn't see nothing related to that Raichu either. I think the Alolan Golem that trainer did it lets you do 30 more damage. I think right, and also Vika Volt I think also did 30 more damage right. So during your opponent's next turn, this they can't play any item cards from their hand. Okay, that's pretty good. Um, and also yeah, this is actually super good considering the rare candy now. So oh my, it's gonna be so many. So the meta's really just busted open like now. It's gonna be so many metas now. But Vika Volt, yeah, definitely gonna looking nice. No, I don't see nothing. Oh, prevent all damage. Whoa. Yep, this was okay. They had a Mimikyu was the card in the actual TCG for this a Rico Corio. So safeguard prevent all damage to this Pokemon from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. So there's all and these are the most annoying cards to ever go against if your deck's EX. But this is this is going to pretty much shake the meta because this hard counters those 18 Trainer Articuno decks. This card alone, like if 18 Articuno runs into this deck, it literally has to look at it and just like they have to immediately surrender. So yeah, this safeguard is interesting. Also, yeah, you don't even need to really like you can throw this in a lot of decks as a backup. Like just if you like this instantly stops Darkrai Giratina. This card alone stops Darkrai Giratina. That is no longer like you can throw this in any deck and just like power up your whole team, sub in to Darkrai Giratina and just like one shot everybody. I don't know. Well, I guess Darkrai Giratina technically could I guess Darkrai this thing to death with just like hit it 3 times with Darkrai, 4 times with Darkrai's ability. I guess you could say. But yeah, I guess in truly it wouldn't be a super hard counter, but it would definitely it could stop Giratina for sure for a little bit. Tapu Koku switch this Pokemon with one of your bench electrics. Okay. Mr. Mime doesn't let me read this. Okay, Mr. Mime. I mean, it's okay, but nothing great. Sableye. The okay corner. Sableye. Grumpig 70 for 3. Those are just never that great to me. 70 or 80 for 3, just not that great. Now 90 for 3 is okay, but with that, especially with that new train, fire type. So Bennett, your Pokemon next turn. This Pokemon can't take any energy from there. Whoa. Okay, that stops them from putting energy on their active mon. That's interesting. Okay, Mimikyu had an ability too. Let me go look at Mimikyu's trainer again. What was the effect of that? Move 30 damage from it to your opponent. Okay. Okay. And then let's look at Mimikyu again. Oh gosh, 20 damage to one of your Pokemon. It's actually not too crazy. 70s, that's like getting KO'd by almost anything. But interestingly enough, though, 60 is a decent damage into your opponent, and then they have to respond. And then if 60 plus, if they damage you, you're able to take 30. So it can potentially do 90 in one turn. Early game, that's actually really strong. Okay. Okay, and then Palo Sand 70 for 3, but you can also, like I said, these two in like a Gardevoir deck maybe potentially could be okay. Maybe, maybe. Oh gosh, this attack does 20. If this Tapu Lele was colorless, this will also be meta. So this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each energy attached to that Pokemon. So this is anybody. So you can do this to, like, they're building up a freaking. Yep, you could swing pretty hard on their bench. Well, not hard, but like if they're building up the bench, you can attack pretty easily. And also, um, oh, isn't again Decidueye also, mind you too, with Decidueye, his heavy attack is is colorless. With, don't mind you, with Decidueye EX, Tapu Lele and Decidueye EX may potentially be a thing. Okay, now I should have been focused more on these these legendary EXs too. Okay, move all your psychic energy from one of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. Considering there's like no, like, I mean, Gardevoir obviously, but oh, I guess oh, I forgot about Giratina, but then a Giratina, no, Giratina Mewtwo, like, it's just too much. But yeah, and you can only use one Giratina at a time. Yeah, yeah, just I don't know. I can't see anything off rip right now with it, but yeah, I just can't see anything off rip right now. Hariyama, let me see. I love Hariyama. Switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Oh, your opponent choose. Okay. Nothing too crazy there. A decent staller, I guess you could say. Concorodor. Let me look at him. Well, he has guts. If this Pokemon will be knocked out by damage from an attack, flip a coin. If heads, this Pokemon is not knocked out. That could be annoying. That could be really annoying. Let me look at Blood Fang on Lycan Rock here real quick. If your opponent's active Pokemon has more remaining HP than this Pokemon, this attack does 50 more damage. Okay, that's pretty easy to do. This pretty much clean shots a lot of the EXs too. Like, it's gonna swing for 100 on any EX, and actually I think once it knocks out like Pikachu EX instantly. Fit, and then only for 2, right? Let me look at the light Lycan Rock. Active Pokemon. Okay. Well, you could run pretty much both of them, I guess. It just whichever one's more fitting at the time, huh? Seismic Toss for 60. Pamziman. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's active Pokemon, move all fight energy to this Pokemon to one of your bench. Okay. This is probably one of the first times offload pass, huh? Maybe one of the first times fighting has, I wouldn't say a way to ramp, but definitely a way to. That's interesting. Fighting now has a way to keep energy on the field, so Pokemon and put early game pressure, huh? So you can, yeah, this could actually fit in quite a few decks, like Golem. Golem actually. Let me see. From any in this set, does it immediately? I guess Conkeldurr actually can benefit potentially. Um, anyone like they just really been? I don't think anyone in this set. Well, I guess to itself. Yeah, I don't think anyone specifically in this deck looks like that benefits that much. Pokemon. Definitely Golem and everyone like those cards may actually have we have to may have to revisit them for sure. All right, I'm gonna kind of go quick through the end of this because this went way longer than I wanted to. Rattata. Okay, I'm just going Lola Mudkip. Muk. So one special condition from among sleep, burn, confusion, paralyzation, and poison is chosen at random, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now affected by that special condition. Any special condition already affecting that Pokemon will not be chosen. Already, oh my! So you can stack it. So this is stackable. Is there any way to ramp this too? I don't think so, but that is. Put this behind the like what's his name? Ghastly. Put this behind Weezing to power up, and yeah, I don't. 160 is nothing to scuff at either. Yeah, 82 on top of that. If you could ramp this pretty early, he's gonna be pretty tough to deal with. Not because you could just get slept. You can get paralyzed. And then like you get poisoned, and that's like 100 damage. Gee, yeah, that's actually kind of scary because how unpredictable it is. That is very scary. I wonder if that's gonna be meta or not. Nothing else too interesting there. Okay, I remember Escadrille 50 for 1. Maybe I don't. Yeah, maybe. So Escavire. I'm sorry, Excalibur. Pike. Okay, that's not too bad, I guess, for a stage 1. 20 damage to 30 to the active, 20 to 1 on the bench. Okay. Klefki, okay. A free Subman. Okay. Nothing else. Jeez. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes plus 30 damage from attacks. It's crazy. But it is swinging for 130 in 2 turns, so that's pretty impressive. Kalucha, if it does 30 more damage. Okay, I think we went. Okay, yeah, the heavy stuff we went through pretty early. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think there's definitely a lot of things to look out for. I was not expecting this many cards. Yeah, this is gonna. It's gonna be interesting. I see a lot of cards that are gonna really enable some of the previous decks, but from what I can see, nothing too crazy here. Like that's gonna really doesn't look like it's gonna. I can't see any instant like okay, this is gonna be meta for sure. But there definitely is a lot of potential here. From things like a Alolan Muck looks pretty good. There's a lot of things I see that I'm just like okay, yeah, this is This is gonna have a lot. It's gonna have its day in the meta. None of the I can see a few of them that I'm excited to try, but yet the meta is at a point now. I think after looking at this, with these cards and the rare candy, there is going to be there is going to be is it's going to be like unpredictable. That's all I can say. Like it is like it amazes me the minds of some of these decks and players that come up with these decks, but it is like going to be unpredictable. And again, you can like no deck's ever gonna be like broken because of the fact that there isn't a way to like you only have 20 cards, so you can't just have like a counter for everything. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot right now. But yeah, electric's gonna be scary too because electric has a way to counter EXs right now. So, but you can really, in theory, throw that card in any deck. But yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, just go. I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm just shook. I'm shook. This is my first time looking at these cards too, so I may make another video way shorter than this, just rehashing everything because I did not know it was going to take me this long to look through all these cards. I may make a short version if you stay to the end. Appreciate you guys. I did enjoy this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, please. And we're out. See you next time.